Okay, so this is the Samsung Galaxy S22. Why is it a doozy? It's a pretty solid phone. Like, the moment you look at it, the industrial design, the pretty shiny colors, and of course it's filled to the brim with the best currently available hardware. So let's take a deeper dive. Samsung went for a more flat design. This year around, it's not only the display that has lost the curved edges, but also the back of the phone is a flat slab. This phone looks great and it feels really nice in the hand, and the slightly rounded sides make it a bit more comfortable and less edgy to hold. Now, one thing that I really preferred better on the Galaxy S21 when it comes to design is the camera bump. On first look, yeah, it's the same thing, but when you zoom in, when you look at the side, the Galaxy S21's camera bump was blending seamlessly with the phone's frame, whereas here you can see an actual separation between what's the camera bump and the actual frame of the device. So it looks like it has the same shape as before, but when you take a closer inspection, the camera bump looks like it's just been slapped on top of the phone. This is a minor complaint, of course. You're not going to buy or not buy this phone because of the camera bump, but these are the first things that I noticed as soon as I picked it up. Speaking of first things to notice, of course, the screen. It has beautiful colors, it has deep, real, true blacks, and now it goes even brighter with a maximum of 1500 nits. Another thing to mention about the screen, because you may be coming from an older Samsung phone thinking to upgrade to this one, do notice that the new Samsung Galaxy flagships do not have the curved edge screens. Samsung slowly but surely abandoned this futuristic look. I am one of the people that actually miss the curved edge screen. I thought it gave the Galaxies this unique identity, and it felt and looked cool to me. I also find it kind of funny that now that Samsung has kind of moved back to flat screen phones, we have edge panels on them. Back in the day, when you had the cheaper flat screen Galaxy and then the more expensive edge model, edge panels were only available on the model with the curved screen, and Samsung really liked to act as if it's not possible to have this on a flat screen phone. The Galaxy S22 series has the under-screen fingerprint scanner that it has been using for a while now. It is still ultrasonic tech. For me, Samsung's ultrasonic fingerprints have been working flawlessly for the past couple of years. Now let's move on to the big thing. Everybody cares about the cameras on these things, and admittedly, yeah, Samsung did a lot of upgrading on the Galaxy S22 camera. The main sensor is now a 50 megapixel one, as opposed to 12 megapixels from last year. Now here we have 10 megapixel second camera with a actual telephoto lens, which means it has 3 times optical zoom as compared to the regular main camera. Is it better? We are a bit torn here in the office. The S22 clearly produces slightly different photos than the S21. Me and some colleagues also noticed that the Galaxy S22 kind of likes to over-sharpen pictures a bit too much. Now, Samsung always likes to over-sharpen its photos, but this needs to be tuned down by just a peg. Now, let's move on to the nighttime photography, which is supposed to be the Galaxy S22's main strength. And yeah, night photos look absolutely beautiful. They get very bright. I can see all of the colors in the scene, though I will say that sometimes I prefer to manually turn night mode off for some photos, because the Galaxy S22 boosts brightness so much that sometimes night photos lose their nighttime charm. When you turn night mode off, you still get a photo that's pretty well visible, but it has that darkness into it, and I really like that effect as well. Then about the ultra-wide camera, nothing seems to be new or changed here. It's a 12 megapixel resolution and it's still great as before. It doesn't distort too much, you don't get that weird fisheye effect. Now, when Samsung was talking about the night mode of the Galaxy S22 series, it was specifically saying that we will get better camera performance when shooting video at night. And yes, that is correct. With the S22, I have this really long clip of walking in the middle of the night with my dog, and you can watch the actual video. There's no correction applied to it and it looks bright and everything is visible. It's great. Towards the end of the video, I switched to the ultra-wide camera, and that's where the footage gets really dark. I assume the ultra-wide camera is not capable of those super high night mode algorithms. So when I move to the ultra wide, it gets super dark, and then I crop back into the main camera and you can actually see how the night mode is enhancing the footage, and that's great. Okay, so this is portrait video mode. You can see my pretty face and the background is hopefully blurred. There's nothing cropping into me, and of course I'm not cropping out into the background, hopefully. Now we don't get focus racking. You can't move the focus away and then back to my face, or if there was someone else with me in this shot, even if they were behind me, both our faces would be in focus, so it looks kind of weird. So it's not like Apple's cinematic mode, but still pretty impressive work from this phone. Nice work, Samsung. Speaking about Samsung's algorithms and stuff, addendum. I just saw the clips on my big busy screen, and no, they don't look good. Portrait video is still not very usable, so take it for what it is. Look at the clips again if you need to. We have Samsung's One UI on this phone on top of Android 12. Samsung keeps it simple. You have the simple, small, quick tiles in the notification shades, which I absolutely appreciate. You have these big, bold, white but transparent shades and windows and rounded corners. As for performance, let's be honest, I know what to expect, you know what to expect, everybody knows what to expect. The Galaxy S22 comes with the latest and greatest hardware, and unfortunately Samsung still insists on confusing half of the world. Now, if you're wondering, we have the Exynos variant here. Performance is great. I did see some complaints online on Twitter about some absolutely terrible stuttering and lag on these phones, even the S22 Ultra, I think. But for me, with the S22, I have no issue. It just works as expected. Now, one thing I didn't mention when I was in the design section of this review is that I really like how Samsung slightly shrunk the Galaxy S22. It's basically a resurrection of the Galaxy S10e from a few years back, but this one is not all cut up and without one camera and all that. No, that's an actual S22 flagship, but it's just, you know, small enough to use with one hand, which is absolutely fantastic. However, the one downside is that its battery capacity had to be limited to 3700 milliamp hours. If you just read the news, browse social media, do some chatting, it's fine. This one will do you well for a day. But as soon as I open a game or the camera, the battery just dips. So it's not a power user's smartphone, I would say. And let's move to the important section. Can I recommend this phone? Of course, I'm gonna say if you're a power user, probably not. Then we also have to look at the broader picture, because in a vacuum, yeah, this phone is fantastic. If you only want to buy Samsung, yes, and you want the compact one, yes, but the Pixel 6 exists, and it's kind of awesome for $600. The Samsung Galaxy S21 FE exists, and it saves you $100. The iPhone 13 exists, and it's pretty great. Plus, it might get you a 2-day battery life. I guess the thing is that the S22 kind of failed to have a big wow effect over the S21 for me. So even if you go to Samsung's certified renewed store and buy an S21, you're still gonna be good. You're not gonna be missing that much. The S21 were solid phones. These are also solid phones that are not that much different.